Hello everyone, welcome back with me on Retjeh production channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most infamous events in American history, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. After decades shrouded in mystery and speculation, we finally have our hands on a treasure trove of newly released documents. Thanks to a directive from former President Donald Trump, thousands of pages of previously unseen or uncensored documents have been released. Could these documents finally shed light on the truth behind that fateful day in Dallas? We're gonna find out together, so buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's unravel this mystery together. From the CIA to the Mafia, and even whispers of extraterrestrial involvement, the theories about who really killed JFK are endless. Was it really Lee Harvey Oswald acting alone, or was he just a pawn in a much larger conspiracy? Join us as we explore these theories and more, diving into the newly released documents to uncover the truth. Before we dive headfirst into this ocean of information, let's rewind back to 2017 for a bit of context. Remember the JFK Records Act? Passed in 1992, this act mandated the release of all JFK assassination-related documents by October 26, 2017. While a significant portion was indeed made public, many documents remained either partially or fully redacted, leaving researchers and conspiracy theorists alike hungry for more. Enter Donald Trump. In the fall of 2017, Trump, then President of the United States, ordered the release of these remaining documents, citing the need for transparency and a desire to finally uncover the truth behind JFK's assassination. This was a monumental decision, sending shockwaves through the world and reigniting the debate about what truly transpired on November 22, 1963. However, even with Trump's directive, not all the documents saw the light of day. Intelligence agencies, citing national security concerns, managed to keep a portion of the files classified. This further fueled speculation and suspicion, with many believing that the government was still hiding crucial information about the assassination. Fast forward to today, and we're finally seeing the release of these long-awaited documents. Over 80,000 pages of previously classified material, some fully redacted in 2017, are now available to the public. This is unprecedented, folks. Never before have we had access to such a comprehensive collection of information about the JFK assassination. The sheer volume of these documents is staggering. We're talking thousands upon thousands of pages, containing everything from FBI reports and CIA memos to witness testimonies and forensic analysis. This is a goldmine of information for anyone interested in the JFK assassination, and it's going to take time to sift through it all. But the potential rewards are immense. These documents have the potential to rewrite history, to finally provide definitive answers to the questions that have haunted us for decades. Now you might be thinking, we already got some documents back in 2017. What's the big deal with these new ones? Well, my friends, the difference is like night and day. You see, those 2017 releases, while groundbreaking at the time, were like a sneak peek, a trailer for the main event. Many of those documents were heavily redacted, with entire paragraphs blacked out, leaving us with more questions than answers. It was like reading a book with half the pages ripped out. Imagine you're engrossed in a thrilling detective novel, and just as you're about to uncover the killer's identity, bam! The page is missing. Frustrating, right? That's what it was like with those 2017 documents. We got glimpses of the bigger picture, hints of a larger conspiracy, but the crucial details were always just out of reach. But now, the gloves are off. These newly released documents are the real deal, the uncut version, the director's cut, if you will. Many of the redactions from 2017 have been lifted, revealing previously hidden information that could be crucial to understanding the events surrounding JFK's assassination. It's like someone finally turned the lights on in a dark room. We're now able to see the full picture, to connect the dots that were previously obscured. This is our chance to finally piece together the puzzle and uncover the truth that has been hidden for so long. These new documents aren't just about unredacting the past, they also include a treasure trove of entirely new material. The implications are enormous. The conspiracy vortex, fact, fiction, and the JFK assassination. Let's be honest, guys, no conversation about the JFK assassination would be complete without addressing the elephant in the room, the conspiracy theories. Over the decades, the JFK assassination has become a breeding ground for speculation and conjecture. It's like a real-life episode of The X-Files with enough twists and turns to make your head spin. We've got everything from the classic grassy knoll shooter to elaborate CIA plots and even whispers of mafia involvement. The lack of clear-cut answers and the government's initial secrecy only fueled these theories, turning a tragic event into a breeding ground for distrust and suspicion. But here's the thing about conspiracy theories: they thrive on ambiguity, they feed off the unknown, the gaps in official narratives, and the way these JFK documents were released, with their cryptic redactions and lack of clear titles or headers, well, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Every redacted word, every missing page becomes fertile ground for speculation. It's enough to make even the most level-headed person question everything they thought they knew. Unmasking the truth. Startling revelations from the JFK files. Now let's get down to brass tacks. What juicy tidbits, what bombshell revelations have emerged from these newly released JFK files? Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because some of this stuff is straight out of a spy thriller. One of the most intriguing aspects of the newly released documents is the light they shed on Lee Harvey Oswald's activities in the months leading up to the assassination. Remember, Oswald, a former Marine with known communist sympathies, had defected to the Soviet Union in 1959 before returning to the US in 1962. These new documents reveal previously unknown details about Oswald's interactions with Soviet officials during his time in the USSR, raising questions about his motives and potential ties to foreign governments. We're talking about intercepted communications, surveillance reports, and even eyewitness accounts that paint a picture of Oswald as a man deeply enmeshed in the world of espionage. Could he have been acting as a Soviet agent? Was he part of a larger plot to assassinate President Kennedy? The documents don't provide definitive answers, but they certainly raise more questions about Oswald's role in the assassination. And if that wasn't enough, the documents also reveal that U.S. intelligence agencies had received multiple warnings about Oswald's potential for violence in the months leading up to November 1963. These warnings, some from credible sources within the intelligence community, highlighted Oswald's unstable mental state and his vocal criticisms of the Kennedy administration. But that's not all. The newly released files also hint at a possible connection between JFK and the Mafia. Some documents suggest that JFK may have had dealings with Mafia figures, raising even more questions about the complex web of relationships and motives surrounding his assassination. The investigation continues, your thoughts and the quest for truth. So, there you have it, folks, a glimpse into the labyrinthine world of the JFK assassination and the treasure trove of information contained within the newly released documents. We've delved into the history, the conspiracies, and the startling revelations that have emerged from these files, but our journey is far from over. This is an ongoing investigation, a puzzle with pieces still being discovered and fit together. The sheer volume of material, coupled with the complexities of the case, means that it will take years, if not decades, to fully understand the events of November 22, 1963. But that's where you come in, my fellow truth seekers. I want to hear your thoughts, your theories, your insights on this case. What do you make of these newly released documents? Do they confirm your suspicions, or have they completely changed your perspective? Let's use the comments section below to create a space for open and respectful discussion. Share your findings, debate the evidence, and let's see if we can collectively unravel this mystery. Remember, every voice, every perspective brings us one step closer to the truth. As we move deeper into the labyrinth of the JFK assassination, one name that frequently surfaces is Fidel Castro. The enigmatic Cuban leader had a complex relationship with President Kennedy, characterized by intense political friction and mutual distrust. The early 1960s were a tumultuous period, with the Cold War at its peak and the Cuban Missile Crisis bringing the world to the brink of nuclear war. In April 1961, the Bay of Pigs invasion, a failed CIA-backed attempt to overthrow Castro, marked a significant escalation in U.S.-Cuba tensions. This botched operation left a lasting scar on JFK's presidency and fueled Castro's paranoia about American intentions. The Cuban leader was acutely aware that the U.S. would not cease its efforts to destabilize his regime. Rumors and conspiracy theories abound about whether Castro might have had a hand in JFK's assassination. Some suggest that Castro, fearing another assassination attempt by the CIA, decided to strike first. Others believe that elements within the U.S. government, concerned about the growing communist influence in the Western Hemisphere, orchestrated the assassination to pave the way for more aggressive policies against Cuba. One particularly intriguing theory posits that Lee Harvey Oswald, the accused assassin, had connections to pro-Castro groups. Oswald's visit to the Cuban embassy in Mexico City just weeks before the assassination has been the subject of intense scrutiny. Was he seeking asylum, or was there a more sinister plot in motion? It's important to consider the broader historical context. The early 1960s were a period of intense ideological conflict, with the U.S. and the Soviet Union vying for global supremacy. The Cuban Missile Crisis had only recently been resolved, leaving a lingering sense of unresolved tension. In this charged atmosphere, it's not far-fetched to imagine that powerful forces on both sides might resort to extreme measures. As we piece together these fragments of history, the connection between JFK and Fidel Castro emerges as a critical element in understanding the broader narrative of the assassination. The intricate web of political intrigue, espionage, and covert operations adds yet another layer to the mystery, challenging us to reconsider what we think we know. Could the animosity between JFK and Castro have been a catalyst for the events of November 22, 1963? Or is this yet another red herring in a case filled with them? The truth remains elusive, but exploring these connections brings us one step closer to uncovering the full story. What are your thoughts? Could Fidel Castro have played a role in JFK's assassination, or is this just another conspiracy theory? Let us know in the comments below as we continue our quest for truth. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged about Oswald's connections to Soviet intelligence, and today, we'll delve into these claims and the evidence that supports or refutes them. Some researchers argue that Oswald's defection to the Soviet Union in 1959, followed by his return to the United States in 1962, suggests he may have been recruited by the KGB. They point to his time in Minsk, where he was closely monitored by Soviet authorities as a possible period of indoctrination or covert training. On the other hand, skeptics argue that Oswald's behavior was inconsistent with that of a trained KGB agent. They highlight his erratic actions, such as his attempts to renounce his U.S. citizenship and his visible frustration with both American and Soviet governments, as evidence of his independent yet unstable nature. Another key point of contention is the lack of concrete evidence directly linking Oswald to the KGB. While some declassified documents suggest Soviet interest in Oswald, there is no definitive proof that he was ever formally recruited or acted under their directives. Ultimately, the debate over Oswald's ties to the KGB remains unresolved, with compelling arguments on both sides. Whether he was a lone gunman driven by personal motives or a pawn in a larger geopolitical game, the mystery endures. So, what do you think? Was Lee Harvey Oswald a KGB operative, or was he acting alone? As we continue our journey through the labyrinth of theories surrounding the JFK assassination, we encounter yet another enigmatic figure, Valery Kostikov. Who was this man, and how does he fit into the complex puzzle of events that led to that fateful day in Dallas? Valery Kostikov was a senior officer in the KGB, specializing in sabotage and assassinations. His name surfaced in connection with Lee Harvey Oswald during Oswald's time in Mexico City, just weeks before President Kennedy's assassination. Oswald reportedly visited the Soviet embassy there, where he met with Kostikov, an encounter that has fueled endless speculation. But what do we know about Kostikov's background? Born in 1929, Kostikov quickly rose through the ranks of the KGB, earning a reputation as a highly skilled and ruthless operative. By the early 1960s, he was stationed in Mexico City, a hotbed of Cold War espionage. This strategic posting allowed him to maintain close ties with Soviet operatives throughout the Western Hemisphere. The meeting between Oswald and Kostikov has been a focal point for researchers and conspiracy theorists alike. Some argue that this meeting was a pivotal moment in a larger Soviet plot to assassinate President Kennedy. They cite declassified documents suggesting that the KGB had taken a keen interest in Oswald, possibly grooming him for a covert operation. However, skeptics caution against jumping to conclusions. While the meeting between Oswald and Kostikov is well documented, the exact nature of their conversation remains a mystery. Was it a routine encounter, or did it involve clandestine planning for an assassination? The lack of concrete evidence leaves room for doubt and debate. Recently, new evidence has surfaced that adds another layer to this complex narrative. Declassified files reveal that U.S. intelligence agencies were aware of Kostikov's presence in Mexico City and were monitoring his activities closely. These documents also suggest that American officials were deeply concerned about the potential implications of Oswald's interactions with a known KGB assassin. As we piece together these fragments of information, the role of Valery Kostikov in the JFK assassination case remains shrouded in uncertainty. Was he a key player in a grand conspiracy, or merely a peripheral figure caught in the web of Cold War intrigue? What do you think? Does the involvement of Valery Kostikov point to a larger Soviet conspiracy, or is it another tantalizing thread in the intricate tapestry of the JFK assassination? A former CIA agent who claimed to have insider knowledge about the JFK assassination. His assertions have added yet another layer of complexity to an already intricate web of theories. Underhill believed that the assassination was a conspiracy involving high-level officials within the government, a claim that sent shockwaves through the intelligence community. He spoke of a clandestine operation, orchestrated by powerful individuals who had much to gain from President Kennedy's demise. What makes Underhill's story even more chilling is his untimely and mysterious death shortly after he made these explosive claims public. Found dead in his home, the circumstances surrounding his passing have been the subject of intense speculation. Was it a suicide as officially reported, or was it a silencing act by those he threatened to expose? The eerie timing and the nature of Underhill's death have only fueled further conspiracy theories, raising questions about how far-reaching and deeply rooted the plot to assassinate JFK might have been. As we ponder these haunting possibilities, we are reminded of the many unanswered questions that still surround this historic event. Gary Underhill's story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers faced by those who dare to challenge powerful narratives. What do you think? Was Underhill's death a mere coincidence? Raising more questions and providing new insights. As we continue to delve into these revelations, the quest for truth remains ever more critical. Each piece of information, each newly uncovered fact, takes us one step closer to understanding the full scope of that fateful day in Dallas. But, with every answer, new questions arise, compelling us to dig deeper and question more. The journey to uncover the truth behind the JFK assassination is far from over. It is a complex puzzle with many pieces still missing, and the search for those pieces continues to captivate and challenge historians, researchers, and curious minds alike. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Remember, the pursuit of truth is not just about solving a mystery, it's about understanding our past to better navigate our future. Stay curious, keep questioning, and together, we can shed light on even the darkest corners of history. Until next time, stay tuned and stay inquisitive.